we would like to have an understanding or some insight into integral education in your life, or how you feel it can be put into practice based on what we've heard so far from our speakers. How do you feel about integral education thus far as something that you believe could be put into practice?
Lucian, I don't mind beginning.
Please.
I am retired now, almost 10 years, but right before I left, we had begun the roundtable possibility for discussion. And I remember it was rather new at that time because we were used to lecturing and the students taking notes. It was a fantastic beginning. But because of my work with IWRI in the last 6 or 7 years, I have seen that roundtable and the principles that go with it. And by the way, if you tune in tomorrow, there is going to be a lesson, a talk on specifically how to teach this. So do come back. But I think my dream is the most basic thing at all, to first learn to listen to another's point of view, even if it's different, and then to embrace that and put it with one's own perspective. And I think there's great hope in that most basic thing. So that's my dream, that we do roundtables for years to come. Please, somebody else.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kathy. Please.
I would like to jump in with your permission. I had the opportunity actually to run a roundtable for professionals. I am by trade, I am a quality engineer, a quality manager, environment, health and safety, and a consultant, used to teach in several institutions. But the interesting point was when we came to a point to discuss quality in manufacturing, quality in industry, what is the best method to reach actually is the consensus on the decision-making process. Definitely we have like in the manufacturing environment, we are experiencing the different variations in materials, variations people coming, on the training, different levels, technological development. But the most important question was, is the methodology of the roundtable is able to reach a higher level of consensus. And the interesting part was that we are guests that were invited, like external guests out of our operation, and we're very, very excited, for the approach for this methodology, because the reason being that the different various opinions that actually started to put together and start like a circles and introduction and what is called the ice breaking, and start the connection, conversation, and changing different experiences. It's slowly brought to the point that almost 99% of the participants could actually agree on the end result. And actually the goal that was set at the beginning of the meeting, it was almost 100% met by the right approach and by the right introduction, discussion, and the roundtable methodology that brought all the people closer with their opinions. That will be my insight for this one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ernest. We have a few more minutes if anyone also would care to continue before our next presentation. We'd love it.
I'm actually presenting. Part of my presentation is on discussion circles. I call them connection circles. So I won't give that away today, but I'd like to share a personal experience from the classroom with 11th and 12th graders at Charles H. Bullen Career and Technical Center. At the beginning of the school year, there wasn't a single student in that class that liked each other. Not only that, they had a very intense animosity for one another. And it was the most challenging class that I've ever worked with. They were studying architectural drafting. And I used the connection circles in conjunction with other activities I'll share tomorrow. And over time, even though they didn't always abide by the rules, most of the time they didn't at the beginning of the school year, but over time, they actually started speaking to one another, just not in the connection circles, but in class in general. And I would say by halfway through the school year, they became best friends. After they graduated, they came back to school to visit me. They were still inseparable. That was a defining moment for me, that the connection circles can solve any problem with any group of people anywhere. Oh, it's just a little my personal experience with the connection circles. Thank you for opening up the discussion.
Thank you, Mary. Beautiful story.
Hearing Mary's success inspired me to do connection for the sake of connection activities and introduce integral education as I teach documentary filmmaking to students of all ages. And I've brought it into the corporate setting. I see the workshop idea integral to the work with corporations and having them connect and participate in the workshops and get away from me coming in and doing my own lectures and whatnot, but right away get the workshops going. And it's been very successful. I look forward to learning more from this conference. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Nan. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? We have time maybe for one more.
I'd like to say something.
Please.
In North America, inclusive education has been a goal for over 30 years. And unsuccessfully, as much as we have tried, millions of students have been dropping out of school. And this educational system has been yearning for something much more integral so that all students of all cultures, of all intellect, could be taught in a multi-modal way. There is so much information that is relevant for today. And the only way to acquire this knowledge is in an integral system of education. And in addition to that, the way that we evaluate our students is not in any way comparable to how they're being taught. And I believe that this direction of integral education is absolutely the only way we can bring our societies to some sort of unification where everyone feels confident and brings up the educational levels of all peoples. Thank you.
Beautiful, Karen. I think I could probably give a seminar on what you talked about, because in college, it's a grave issue, very problematic. But I hope everyone was able to feel a sense of purpose in our discussion. It was really nice. I thank you for it. So Professor Belichenko gave us this beautiful opportunity. I'm grateful for it.